question has expired. Senator Smith.
Thank you very much, Mr President. My question is to the Minister for Communications, Senator Fifield. Can the Minister update the Senate on the rollout of the National Broadband Network?
The Minister for Communications, Senator Fifield.
Thanks, Mr President, and thank you, Senator Smith, for the question and for your deep interest in regional communications, in particular in Western Australia. Mr President, I think all of us in this chamber would agree that the NBN is a very exciting project. We tend to talk an awful lot, though, in this place about the NBN as an end in itself, rather than about what the NBN can achieve and is achieving for Australians. How it can improve job prospects for young people, how it can assist people in regional areas stay in touch, how it can open businesses to the global marketplace, and how it can make online transactions simpler for households. These are all good things that are happening now, and it's because of what the NBN can deliver that when we came into government we decided that we would take, as I say, a technology-agnostic approach, a multi-technology mix, letting NBN choose the technology that would see it rolled out fastest and at lowest cost, and that's exactly what's happening. And I'm very pleased, Mr President, to be able to advise colleagues that the NBN has hit a new milestone this week with fibre-to-the-node connections overtaking brownfields fibre-to-the-premise connections. We now have 1.1 million premises to fast broadband via fibre-to-the-node. Now, that's taken just over a year. Contrast that with Labor's technology, fibre-to-the-premise, where it took more than 5 years to connect the same amount of premises by fibre-to-the-premise. So the multi-technology mix is working, fibre-to-the-node, fixed wireless, satellite, using the HFC pay TV cables. We are delivering the NBN. Mr President, Australians want the NBN. They want it soon, and under this government, because of our approach, they will have the NBN 6 to 8 years sooner than would have been the case under those opposite, and at $30 billion less cost.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Smith, supplementary question.
Can the Minister outline how these achievements contrast with the NBN rollout under the former Labor government?
Minister. On my left. Minister.
Mr President, thank you, Senator Smith. I can actually provide a contrast with the approach of our predecessors. Colleagues may have forgotten that when we came into office in 2013 that the NBN was in effect a failed project, that contractors had downed tools in 4 states, and despite about $6.5 billion having been spent over the best part of 5 or so years by those opposite, there were only 51,000 paying customers on the NBN. Also, those opposite couldn't even work out how much the NBN was costing to deliver. Those opposite thought that it cost between $2,200 and $2,500 per premise to deliver the NBN. That's what they thought, $2,200 to $2,500. When we came into office, we found out that it was actually costing $4,400 per premise. Mr President, the project was a failure. As of this week, we now have over 1.5 million Australians who are on the NBN.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Smith, final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the Minister explain to the Senate how the coalition government is making the NBN as cost-effective as possible to taxpayers?
Minister. Order. The question was asked of the Minister, Senator Wong. Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. And I can. This government has said that there would be an equity cap of $29.5 billion, and that remains the case. This project was always going to be a mix of equity and debt, and we have recently outlined what the debt funding arrangements will be. And I should point out that Senator Dastyari and Senator Estimates the other day took a particular interest in the issues of debt and equity, and we explored those to some extent. And I was wondering why Senator Dastyari had such an interest in Commonwealth debt issues. And I paused and I thought, well, of course Senator Dastyari does. He had one of the most famous Commonwealth debts in Australian history. It was a relatively small debt, we know, and did the Commonwealth Department of Finance consider that they had equity in Senator Dastyari? I don't think so. But Senator Dastyari found a unique way to resolve that debt. And what I wonder is if the person who paid that debt thought they had equity in Senator Dastyari.
Thank you, Minister. Before